Harshad Mehta. This person is most renowned one to everyone who has basic knowledge in stock market. He is popularly known as Big Bull and now he is known to almost everyone because of the latest series Scam 1992. The scam of Harshad Mehta is so big in numbers, it is around 24,000 crores in today's terms, which is way bigger than the scams of Nirav Modi and Vijay Mallya. Hey everyone, welcome to Frontliners and thanks for tuning to our channel. Today let's take a look about how the Harshad Mehta scam was executed and try to understand how he was able to fool the total Dalal market and even the Indian banking system. Without any further delay, let's get started. Did you ever thought why this person is so famous and indeed prized by many people even though he committed a scam? He had migrated to Mumbai with just 40 rupees in his hand and later on achieved the position of influencing the country in such a massive way. In the beginning of the career in 1980s, he used to work for the broker Prasann Panjivandas, whom he considered as guru. Later, he worked for several brokerage firms and finally established his own brokerage under the name of Gromore Research and Asset Management. By the 1990s, Harshad Mehta has risen in such a way that he was known as Amitabh of stock market, and also Big Bull is the term mostly used in reference to him. Before going through the scam, let's see some terms required for better understanding of this scam. In 90s, banks are required to maintain certain threshold of holding government bonds, which are issued with the aim of developing the infrastructure of the country. The amount to be invested is based on the bank's demand. The minimum threshold that is to be maintained by the banks at that time was 38.5%. This minimum percent that has to be maintained by the banks is termed as statutory liquidity ratio SLR. These banks also used to have high pressure to maintain the profitability. Banks at that time may have some temporary surges in the net demand and time liabilities. In such cases, banks are required to increase their bond holdings. As bonds purchase is a long process, the banks are allowed to lend and borrow these liquid securities through a system called Ready Forward Deals RFD. This ready forward deal is a short-term loan of just 15 days from one bank to another. The security or guarantee here is the government bonds. Instead of transferring the bonds worth hundreds of crores, banks just issue something called bank receipt. This was the most convenient way when compared to the transfer of bonds. Actually, this process looks like a loan transfer. But the actual thing happens is buy and sell of liquid securities with a guarantee of bonds. The borrowing banks sell some securities represented by BRs to lending banks in exchange of cash. After the end of period, the borrowing bank will buy the securities with a higher amount, and the difference in the amount will be the interest to be paid to the lending bank. The bank receipts that are issued will be cancelled once the deal is done. Here, the brokers came into the picture as the intermediaries between the two banks in the RFD system, and they used to work as middlemen for borrowing banks to find the lending banks. As per the actual rules, the exchange of securities and payment should take place between the banks, but the brokers found some ways to play a larger role in this. In due course, all the transfer of securities and payments were made to the brokers. Even the banks also encourage this as it is easy and quick for them to find another bank for deal. After brokers entering into the system, there used to be maintenance of secrecy in the two dealing banks and the loans are displayed as to the broker and loans from the broker. Let's now see the most important part of the story. How Harshad Mehta played with this. Harshad Mehta is also a broker for these RFD deals. This guy, however, managed the banks to issue checks in his name and deposit it into his accounts, and then transfer to the stock market. The actual allowed process for a broker is to involve only two banks in this deal. But what Harshad Mehta did here was, at the end of the loan period when bank is requested for its securities or cash to return, he used to involve a third bank and eventually a fourth bank and so on. Instead of just two banks involved in this, he used to involve multiple banks. Along with Harshad Mehta, other stock markets brokers also used to misuse the money that is made out of cheating these banks. Others use this money to drive the prices low in the market and thus decrease the value of securities. These people used to buy these securities at lower prices and sell them when the prices are normalized. Harshad Mehta countered this by pumping money from stock market to keep the demand up. He used to have money of banks temporarily in his account and he used this money to hike up the demand of certain shares. This genius guy selected only well-established companies like ACC, Videocon, etc. for this. This is because, along with his investment, market reaction also resulted in these shares to exclusively traded. This is because, along with his investments, market reaction also resulted in these shares to get exclusively traded. For example, the share of ACC increased from 200 rupees to around 9000 rupees in just 2 months. Even banks also know about this scam of Harshad Mehta. But banks just used to look away as they also would be benefited with the profits of Harshad Mehta. This guy used to send some percentage of profit to banks and banks used them to manage the profitability. Later, Harshad Mehta increased the level of scam. He, along with the other two banks, namely Bank of Karad and Metropolitan Cooperative Bank, decided to further exploit the system. With the help of these banks, he used to forge the bank receipts. That is, the bank receipts with no guarantee of securities. This is similar to giving a fake guarantee to bank while taking a loan. He further pumped this money into the stock market and increased the amount of influence. In audits conducted by RBI, they found that the amount represented by BRs in circulation was higher than the actual government bonds held by these banks. But even after finding this out, RBI did not take a proper action on these banks. Here comes the most important character of this story. She is journalist Sucheta Dalal. She was fascinated by the luxurious lifestyle of Harshad Mehta and the array of rarest cars like Lexus Starlet owned by him. These cars are the dream even for the rich in 1990s. This interest made her investigate further how Harshad Mehta made this much of wealth and his sources of income. She found all activities done by Harshad Mehta and exposed the scam 1992 in the columns of Times of India. There are rumors that the other brokers and investors ganged up and blew the whistle on Harshad Mehta to get rid of him. In less than 2 months of scam exposed, the stock market has lost around 1 trillion rupees. When the scam was exposed, the bank started demanding the money back but realized that there were no securities backing the loan either. The investment of Harshad Mehta in stock market affected badly and reduced by significant value. The further investigations revealed many players like Citibank, Aditya Birla and a number of politicians and RBI governor that had played role in this. Oppositions demanded the resignation of Finance Minister Manmohan Singh and the RBI governor. Manmohan even offered the resignation but rejected by Prime Minister P.V. Narasimha Rao. Harshad Mehta was charged with 72 criminal offences and more than 600 criminal actions shoot. After 3 months of custody, Harshad Mehta got released on bail. Harshad Mehta was barred from participating in stock market. In September 1999, Bombay High Court convicted him and sentenced him to imprisonment of 5 years. Mehta died while in criminal custody after suffering from cardiac arrest. Despite of this scam, Harshad Mehta is considered as the brilliant player of stock market. As per Economic Times, many experts state that Harshad Mehta did not commit any fraud. He just simply exploited the loopholes in the system. Do you know, when Harshad Mehta first released on bail in 1992, he was greeted with cheers and applause as his return would signify the return of his bullish trend. If it is similar scam to the scams committed by Nirav Modi and Vijay Mallya, there will not be this kind of welcome to him. Harshad Mehta scam can be looked at from two sides. The first is a scam where Harshad looted the stock market and the public. Or the second way where Harshad Mehta was made the scapegoat as someone had to be blamed and at the same time kept the other influenced people away from the limelight. If you like the content, give it a thumbs up and share it to your friends. Last but not least, don't forget to subscribe Frontliners. Jai Hind.